John.
I mean, have you seen the video?
It's not a
Nora looks exactly the same as she does.
In the
I don't know
video.
what it is.
Yeah. What?
In the video.
It's not like you couldn't tell that was Nora. It was obviously her. But dude, you should read this book. It's called The Imitation of Christ. You should get it.
It's interesting that you say that you could tell it was me because my family were saying that he was like didn't even look like me. My cousins.
I don't know. Imagine if you could go before every time you go out on a date, you could see a video of the girl. Like you hold the phone up and be like, "Hi, I'm the girl you're about to go out on a date with. This is a video of my face."
But you think I haven't video shotted with people?
Dude, wait, hold on. Why are you an asshole, dude? Seriously.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. No, she's a pretty girl, but I'm just saying. You know, the video didn't do her justice, maybe.
I mean, is it supposed to? I was sleep deprived, I was rained on, I was yelling, I was...
You're the one who brought it up. I didn't even bring it up. I'm just making a follow-on joke with regards to what you said. I didn't bring up shit.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm trying to normalize it so that I can, because anytime I search my name, it'll forever be connected to me.
Well, you could search my name, and I've got about 20,000 videos up. So, you know.
That's true.
Try to control
I know, but it's Google. It's like the Times of Israel, the Times of England, the New York Post.
Well, don't look at it as a negative thing. You know, because at least you have some brand name recognition.
That is an upside.
Oh God.
All publicity, you know, like Wrigley said, if I had $1 million, I would spend $999,000 on advertising and $1 on product. I mean, you got $1 million worth of advertising, but you didn't capitalize on it. We were trying.
Great quote. I'm gonna remember.
Yeah, you know why I didn't capitalize on it? Because I was in a freaking psychiatric hospital.
No, well, we tried to consult with you, you know, right away and say you have to capitalize on this immediately, and you were like, you were debating it. You know, we were discussing it, but you never did anything.
You should have hit up Stu Peters as soon as it happened.
Yeah.
Guys, I was in the hospital for a month. How was I supposed
when
to
you
contact
got
people?
out, if you would have gone on a talk show or something, like...
It was already dead by then.
Well, anyways, we're just trying to positive think about how you could have capitalized on it. It didn't
Can
happen.
I go on your show?
You were on my show. Nobody watches my show. And you were on my show a gazillion times, and nobody watches it.
Oh, God. I hate that I'm out there, but I feel like I have no choice but to be out there more.
Yeah, you need to control the communication. Just as long as you focus on education.
I gotta go tips. John Kitover, you stay sharp, brother. Princessy, I love you. Peace out, guys.
Right.
I'm just saying, you know, control the communication. Like, get into education, and then you can, if anybody ever says anything to you, like, oh, hey, I found this video of you, and you can be like, oh, well, did you watch this video? You know?
Yeah.
Make it professional.
Yeah. I wrote a tweet about it yesterday. It's just like a lot of venom. That's what I see. It's just like it's ugly. Like it's just a venom. And then the responses are venom back, you know?
Yeah, well, change the messaging and change the feedback, you know? You don't have to dwell on this one moment. It's only a small snippet of your entire life.
Yeah, but I thought I was going to Rikers.
You thought you were going to Rikers?
Isn't that what you told me?
I mean, I'm joking around. Whatever happened with the lawsuit?
With my charges?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't say. It's too many ops listening.
Oh, like anybody cares. Welcome back. Welcome to life where nobody cares about you unless there's gossip to be had.
I know, right? Is Abby still one of your listeners?
She might be, but I don't talk to her actively. I mean, she's messaged me on X like once or twice, but you know, I don't pay her any attention. She's whatever his face's name is.
What?
Diogenes.
This is bone.
That's his girl, and she's his. You know, she's in love with him in the same way that you're in love, supposedly, with Diego.
I don't think that she's in love with him the same way I'm in love with him, Diego.
Oh, your love is better?
I think my love is pure. And
oh my God, you're so stupid.
Yeah, I don't want anything. I just want him to be well and good, and I'm just grateful that I've met him and know him.
Yeah, that's called being a friend.
Okay. Well, then I love my friend.
Yeah.
You know.
But
I heard a lot of people around you are in Chicago. Are you gonna meet them?
No. Why would I meet them when I can just talk to them here? What's the point?
I guess because they know what you look like. You don't know what they look like.
I'm happy to keep it that way. You know, they've wasted my time here enough. It's like, why would I want to meet them in the real world? You know, I'm busy. I just busted my ass over the past couple of days. I've had an infection. I've been sick. Like, you know, what's the point of meeting up with somebody? Because people just want.
Okay?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. But people want to drink, you know, and like that's the thing. People are social. Oh, it's like I want to control my environment. I don't want to, be controlled by the environment, and people are that environment. So.
Yeah, let me ask you, why are you being so anti-Islam lately?
Because I've been hearing all these crazy hadiths, and I'm like, this is so fucking crazy. This is stupid. This is childish. This is ridiculous.
Listen, if somebody's picking like some hadiths that other people don't know about, aren't you suspicious of like, okay, where's this hadith from? What does it mean? Like, there's so many hadiths. I don't even know what the number is, but it's bigger. The corpus is more massive than the Quran.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot. It's just stuff I've never heard before, ever. And I never heard it in the media because it's inflammatory, because it's ridiculous. And so...
You have to ask yourself, why do they know it? It's because it is, like, there's something intentionally they're looking for it. Like, the average Muslim doesn't know this stuff. Like,
I know. I agree. I see Muslims all the time, and I know that they don't know about any of this shit. So that's why I find it so interesting, because it's so ridiculous.
And it's not part of the religion.
I know. It's like a cultural thing. So, it's
no,
just...
those hadiths, so it's like, for example, what's one of the hadiths that you're talking about?
How Muhammad had a threesome. How Muhammad...
No, he didn't have a threesome.
A lot of this stuff... Well, anyways, I'm just saying...
You know, he didn't have a threesome because it's haram to have a threesome, so if he had it, it wouldn't be haram.
Well, I could show you the hadith if you want to see.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm not going to, because that's not my thing. Like, other people are discussing it, and I'm not the one who is creating. I'm recording the content, but I'm not the one creating it.
Mm-hmm. You've been very nice today. What's with the difference?
What, with you right now?
Yeah, you've been like a lot nicer than you usually are.
I don't have anything against you personally.
I don't know. You seem different. Maybe it's because you've been sick and you had the infection.
Yeah, that's probably true. I mean, when you get a taste of mortality, all that you realize how stupid all this is even more, because you're like, oh, like I can't even walk. I'm gonna die. Why am I fucking causing all this drama? What a waste of time.
Yeah, but you can walk, right?
Now I can, yeah.
You couldn't walk before at all?
No.
Wow, that's awful.
It's very scary. You're like, I can't believe it. Like, I can't
How
walk.
long could you not walk for?
Like 4 days.
No way. That's awful.
I mean, I could walk, but I can't walk without extreme pain. So basically, you can't walk.
Do you have a sciatic nerve?
No, it's a gout infection.
Gout?
Yeah. They call it piss foot.
Wow.
Your blood, like your blood takes in all the uric acid, and then it's like walking on glass.
Oh my god, sounds awful. I've been sick for the last couple weeks. I haven't been going to the gym, but not as sick as you are.
Yeah, I'm gonna start going to the gym like probably tomorrow.
What's going on with your dates?
I'm not like text messaging anybody. You know, like I was seeing this one girl from Germany, then she moved back to Germany, and then I'm just like on Hinge. They deleted my Hinge, then I got my Hinge account back. It's so stupid. But since I got
What's
sick,
your Hinge?
I don't know. I was spamming people saying copy and paste. You know, do you want to go to the beach? Want to go to the beach?
I can't do that. Oh my god.
Yeah. So, but then I got sick, and I was like, well, you know, I like to drink, so that's part of the problem. It's like I have to slow it down.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, alcohol is basically poison.
Very bad for you.
You know, Muslims, they say they don't drink, but they drink. We drink on special occasions.
Muslims, they say what?
Muslims say they don't drink, but they drink.
I mean, I don't drink, but I drank when I was in Vegas.
Exactly. See what I'm saying? Like, you drink.
Well, but I know I wouldn't have normally done it. I just did it because I was in Diego.
Yeah, exactly.
And I should have done it because it was really hard on my head. I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
And it was just red wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It speeds you up, you know, it activates your neural network in your brain, so you have to deal with that. And, you know, if you study, if you read books, like that's one good way to use the alcohol. But
Really?
most people
You
just.
drink every day, don't you?
You know, I haven't had a drink in the past couple days in the way that I usually drink, but, I mean, I have been pushing it hard. But when you have a health infection because of that, it makes you think, maybe I overdid it.
Yeah. It's hard. Like, you have to take your health very seriously and just be happy.
Yeah. You can, you know, I don't know, there's a formula, you know, and it takes consistency and discipline. But honestly, like all this wasted effort in communication, especially about a million different things or top 10 things, it's just such a waste of time. People will waste your time so much.
This is what what's his guru just sent me. And he wrote one last thing and then in capital letters. Jesus is God. Jesus is the Logos incarnate. No one goes to the Father except through him. You love the Lord Jesus Christ and are obsessed with him because you subconsciously know he is God in the flesh in your heart and mind. Become Catholic. The heavens will rejoice. Don't fret for the kingdom of God. Listen to me, your friend. I'm the voice that cries out from the wilderness. Did you write this or did you write this? Your trials and tribulations are not accidents, but you're going through a divine test. This will ultimately lead you to your conversion to the one true Catholic faith. What do you think of it?
I mean, he might not be right, he might not be wrong. I don't know. I mean, I don't think anybody knows for sure, but I think a lot of people at the end of their lives they go that route because they're like, well, what downside do I have? Let's try it. You know, it's all experimentation.
When I think I'm gonna die, I feel like the need to say my shahada. I don't think if I.
That's your programming. You know, if you didn't receive that programming, you wouldn't be thinking that way.
But I program myself.
Yeah, well, that's your program. I don't know what to tell you. Like, our brains are just computers, and what programs we use is how we do it. That's how we do life.
I mean, are you really a Jew? What are you? Because I feel like you're not a Jew.
No, my mom's not a Jew.
No, I don't believe in ethnicity. I mean in religion.
I like Jewish books because they're full of wisdom, and so from that aspect, you could call me Jewish. But then I could read Christian stuff and then be like, oh, he's a Christian. You know, like to me, it's all the same wordplay with different objects or pronouns or it's
You're a perennialist,
what's a perennialist?
where you find God like in all the paths, see God in everything.
Yeah,
I think.
they call it like the holy mountain. So there's like many paths to the same, you know.
Yeah, that's perennialism.
But it's still words, and it's in English, because like I can read Rumi, and then I can become a Muslim, and I'm like, oh, Rumi makes sense, you know. And so everything, all these things make sense. But when you hear those hadiths, you're like, whoa, this shit is stupid. It's crazy. It's cringe. You know, is this a joke? Like, is this comedy? Are they like making fun of it?
The hadith are like there's so many. There's people that had intentions, like they had their motives of why they would claim what something was said. That's why you can't just, I don't know, you can't be a layman looking at hadith.
Can't be a layman. Anybody can read any of this shit. There's no advanced knowledge necessary. It is what it is. Ridiculous.
You can't be a layman. I guess you can't be a layman, but you have to be very, very critical of what you're reading. Like the idea that Muhammad had a threesome. Come on, that's ridiculous.
Okay, let me ask you this. You're very sensitive about this topic. Now, if we were to change the topic from Islam to Christianity or Judaism, do you think I would be emotionally or sensitive about the topic? No. So,
I'm not emotional. I just think it's ridiculous to for somebody to believe that Muhammad had a threesome and that there's a hadith that claims that.
I know, but do you think a Christian or a Jew would get offended if you were to dig into the Talmud or the Torah or anything and be hypercritical?
They'd 100% be hypercritical. I've seen it.
See, that's my point basically, is even if you're Jewish or Christian and you're going to get very upset about somebody's analysis and thus their negative analysis of what is in the information, it's just basically the same political bullshit. So, that's one way to look at, why you ask me why am I being critical of Islam. I'm not like really political about it. I mean, I'm just like shocked by it because I've never seen these interpretations or translations and these topics.
I mean, just because Sam is saying it doesn't mean it's true.
No, I don't. Take Sam out of the equation. Just show me the information. I don't want to hear it in his voice because he's doing comedic type stuff. He's changing his voice. He's doing like character bits. So just show me the screenshots, and then that's enough for me. And I'm like, okay. It's a waste of time because I could go to a mosque close by, and they're not looking at these things, talking about these things. So it's like a whole nother a bunch of information which is not relevant to what they're doing or what they're talking about. So,
do you know what the 6 articles of faith are in Islam, though, and how is that relevant to whether there's a claim that Muhammad had a threesome or not, and whether there's a hadith that says that?
I can't tell you what the 6 articles.
Exactly, these are the
It's not exactly. I mean, I can Google for you and just give it to you.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying that's what Islam is. It's not about whether Muhammad did or didn't have a threesome. Obviously he didn't because it would...
Listen, the guy fucking probably did a lot of shit, and I'm sure it wasn't all good. So I don't think that's up for debate. I mean, the guy was a warlord. The guy...
No, he wasn't.
He didn't kill a bunch of people?
He wasn't a warlord. Can you define a warlord?
Somebody who picks up a weapon and starts conquering in the name of God.
And that's not what he was doing.
It doesn't matter. There's enough history there where it's basically... it is what it is. I don't know how to tell you this, but I think all religions in a way are cults. So... some are less toxic than others, but essentially they're all similar in the sense that if you believe in the sky god as opposed to the universe, I think you're being more political. You have to depoliticize by going universal.
Do you think God is the universe rather than God being God?
I think it took the whole universe, which is infinity, which is God, to create our reality. it's possible that the universe is like an incubator, and our Earth and our solar system came out of, the entire cosmos, and that would technically be the All God or the All Father or Godfather, something to that extent in English. So there's a metaphysic, it's energy, and we are that energy. So, positive vibrations is the optimal choice. If you listen to people complaining, spreading political propaganda, making terrorist threats, that's negative energy, and
Yeah.
I want to avoid it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I agree with you.
I mean, make flowers, make bees, make birds, make peace, make a
Or
garden.
just beautify yourself.
Yeah, start with yourself and then work from there. Because a lot of people have it the other way around, where they're trying to change the system as opposed to trying to change themselves first.
Yeah, no, I agree.
The system can try to change.
Are we on YouTube, by the way?
Yeah, I'm live on YouTube.
Okay.
So anyways, I mean, I don't think I'm like wrong, But see, people are using the hadiths in the same way that we might talk about any other topic. So that's the thing, is where I can still be critical of a Muslim, because I can be like, okay, now it becomes a you problem, because you are the one who are gaslit by this topic, and you are the one who won't stop talking about it now. And so what Sam is doing, or what other people do, is that's how they create the most dopamine for themselves and for others. It's like a talk show. Every day there's a new topic, and so they choose this one gaslight topic to entertain themselves for the day and produce all their dopamine. But it's pathetic. Sam doesn't go to the gym, and then he has emotional crying spells because he's thinking about.
Should I go to a party? Speaking of the gym, or should I go to the gym?
Go to the gym. That's the party.
I shouldn't go to the party.
Go to the gym, then the party.
But the party started an hour ago.
Well, what are you gonna do there? You're just gonna eat and get fat.
I was gonna dress up.
Well, then go to the gym and then go late. That's how you do it. Show up late, Don't give the show away. Arrive late.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll let you take action. I hope this conversation has been beneficial for you.
No, it's like, where are you gonna go now?
To another room.
Wow, you're gonna just leave.
Yeah, you got a party to go to.
It's not very good, like, encouraging grades. If they kept the way it is, that would have been awesome. I don't know why the fuck you're doing it. This just makes no sense to me. However, I can tell you this. Options change. The option changed very, very interestingly, though. I'm gonna look into that more later, because I can't say I'm an expert there. Otherwise, option change. Come out, select them.
Forgot about yourself. It's and how it crumbled and burned. Well, ain't nobody got back with you, bro. That was like a lot. Well, I never saw it that way. That's why I said that's funny. But yeah, people ask me to bring it back a lot. People are like, bring it back, I should do a Trump voice. Maybe people that get it, they want us to bring it back, do another season.
It's like the insecurity is too strong. It's not like, see, if people were like intellectuals about the racism of this video, they still would be blasting it. It would still be false. It would be false because we know a lot of that stuff is like folklore, just it's all them say, just listen to you guys. But this one I think why people hold on to that today. The reason why people hold on to it today is because some of the right wingers or whatever, or maybe even some of the left wingers, I don't even know. But a lot of the far right wingers.
They kicked me. They kicked me because I put intellectual racism clown emoji. He just said people refuse to be intellectual racists or discuss racism intellectually. Isn't it political? Is it not political? And can you not be racist? It's basically a form of comedy.
It's Chicago cheeseburger.
Is there Chicago cheeseburger?
Do you want 2 beef patties or do you want 1 beef patty?
I like Kitover here, but you guys don't mod him because he'll end the room, and you can kick him. If you want to kick him, you can kick him.
That's right.
I'm just a punching bag.
Of Clown House. No, I love Kitover. My child.
I'm not your sacrificial goat to be projected upon.
Yes, you are.
What else are you? What else would it be?
No, you are. You're not. You're very mistaken.
Lou, what do you do with your time? Like, how do you spend your time in life?
Yeah, produce or like it's turn into content on your show.
I am the vehicle of your life. How is that possible? What do you do?
Rabbi,
Yeah.
whatever you do, sir.
Is short interest in price like 100% negatively correlated? Like, can we confirm that or no?
With what?
Short interest ratio and price action, is it 100% negatively correlated, or how can we confirm this?
Well, not necessarily. You can't confirm it. There is a non-linear correlation between the two.
See, that's not really that reliable though.
It is it's guarantees. It's amazing.
It's not something you take isolated with all other things. Just an indicator. Like, for example, you can have a very high short interest, which means that people are selling it, they're shorting it without acquiring it as a cash. Okay, so that's an indicator on its own. Does that mean the stock price goes down? Well, has an effect lowering down the stock price, but if, let's say, there's in higher magnitude people buying the share, aside from shorting. So,
Isn't there something happened at GameStop? Like it was like shorted too much and there was no supply of a GameStop stock and it ballooned up when all that Roaring Kitty situation happened.
like, let's just say everyone, so there's more Americans than Canadians. Everyone in Canada is shorting the stock without buying it. So you have a lot of short interest. However, you have Americans who are all buying it. So then the stock goes up, it doesn't go down. Anyways, I'm just like, it's an indicator. That's all I'm saying.
Our second child. You're right, you should have told me about that. Alright, remind me. I'll take it back. Nobody listen to that. Anyway, normal.
No, nigga, I'm talking about the fact that
Oh, so you do want to talk about our second child? Which one is it? Make it sense.
the gas fighter.
Makes sense, sweetheart. Thank you. But why would you not tell people that you're an author? That doesn't make any sense.
That's not how I want to present on Clubhouse, sir.
You don't want to present as an author?
No, I do not.
Oh, that's crazy.
Women, they could be private, you know?
Agreed. It's just
Yeah.
counterintuitive.
And if she's here just, chilling and trolling, you're fucking it up for her because then people are gonna fucking dox her because they're gonna know who is she. I mean, she doesn't want that.
I don't know who she is, so.
Do you have anything to say about the,
I want to ask Elmo about his writing process. Do you write every day,
can
Elmo?
we talk about the title of the room?
Most days, but not every day.
What do you think about Stephen King?
I mean, besides the fact that he's prolific, I mean,
Besides the fact that he's prolific, very prolific.
yeah, maybe too prolific. Like it starts to feel like product after a while. Certainly, like the first, I don't know what, 20 movies.
20, yeah,
were wonderful. Were wonderful.
You think he's still a cokehead?
You think he's still what?
Cokehead.
You think he's still a cokehead? Because that's what got him through all his writing.
No, he's been sober for, I would say, more than 25 years. And then remember, he got hit by a van, too. And that sort of thing. Right, he had to fight his way back.
What?
Yeah, he got hit by a
He
van.
was jogging, right? Is that it? He was jogging?
I think I'm walking, I can't remember.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. Look at the great films that have been made from his stuff, man. It's a good
And he's
story.
hated Donald Trump. And he's hated Donald Trump ever since.
Ever since what? I mean, everybody in New York hates Donald Trump. Always did. I mean, they used to make fun of him. They called him a short-fingered vulgarian. But they just mocked him because he was obviously very
I don't
career.
even know what that means.
Well, for some reason, his fingers look stubby, and vulgarian is just somebody who's vulgar. This was his Spy magazine used to mock him. I mean,
No one in the street called Trump any of that.
in the
Nobody.
street. Well,
Regular people.
at first they looked up to him because he was rich. But then he became sort of a subject of mockery because he was too out there. He used to just things like call up the newspaper and pretend to be his own publicist. You can see a movie about him called The Apprentice, where he apprentices himself to a very dishonest, manipulative lawyer named Roy Cohn. It's a good film to watch, especially if you like
Donald Trump was well respected from his Robin Leach Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Remember those?
Yeah,
To his prominent New York bad boy Ivanka, Ivana Trump era.
My life.
To go ahead. Go ahead.
No, there was a.
Chicken from the ground.
Yeah. I still have a bag, don't worry.
He has he has now 100 dollars, and I'm still on. Okay. Oh god.
A little more than that.
If you're trading with money that you can afford to lose, don't be afraid to lose. You learn more from losing money, believe it
So
or
now I have more than you, that's the why.
I don't think so.
I have more
not.
than
You said you would.
1,000, so I don't think you do.
10,000.
No, you said you have 8,000. So you don't.
No, I do have 1,000, yes.
Yeah, so you don't have more than me.
Well, I think that they measure.
How much do you have?
A little more than that, but not much.
Why can't you just share how much? I hate secrets.
Like, here. Right now, it's literally like 1,000.
house on Bolton, Mrs. Germain.
So 40 shares. 40 shares on this two are.
What you got there, Mr. White?
You fucking faggot.
That
And Bernstein, they actually are struggling for this.
It says VA, right? That's the ticker.
Maybe. They're struggling when it comes to dividends.
This one called.
It used to be much better. Verizon is
Oh.
stable.
My
AT&T
gosh,
is really going down like crazy. Why the fuck did it go down?
This guy said if I used one of his songs.
This is my new favorite metric is short interest.
That's because we retarded.
It's retarded.
It's a nice metric. I still think that.
Well, it can tell you a lot.
Whoever is interested in the AT&T thing, you guys know that Warner brothers, they are going to get split into two companies.
AT&T is split into two companies.
So what AT&T has a subsidiary called the Warner Brothers. That's going to get split up into two, like, but the HBO Max and the streaming service is going to be one part, and the other part is going to be the TV thing with all its other content. And then they recently did a re-buyback of a debt of around $17 billion from JP, and then they are also going to issue some junk bonds. They are planning to get some junk bonds for resettlement of the funds, because they have $34 billion in debt, the Warner Brothers. And basically Warner Brothers is a part of AT&T.
That's right.
Dude, the captions are flawless.
The what?
The captions. The captions on this. I don't understand what he's saying. You got it perfect. You got it perfect with that. I'm serious.
Where do you find them? Oh, show captions.
That's impressive.
How about distribution? I mean, it could be good, man. It could actually be better. And I would love to reach out to Shreddy after I finish. Talk to this guy.
That's right. You can just chat him up in the comments. I can chat, he'll respond to him.
No, like, what I mean is maybe help him build this.
Always defending against these light-skinned niggas, bro. Always. That's where they came from. Always a light-skinned nigga up in the front seat. He was just like he be doing that shit just.
Because you're talking about it.
Asking me who is left.
I want to know who you say. Who you think it was. I want to know what your perception is.
I think it was those people who were laughing and pointing back at your listening to the video.
Who was it though? It was me.
Why does that?
Yeah.
Okay, shouldn't you?
I want to know what your perspective is as you characterize the event.
Right, but like I don't understand.
Why do I need to know? To better
Why are
understand
you asking
somebody.
me questions, Jay?
Jesus Christ.
You're just like mean to Alvito, and then you think you're just gonna ask me a bunch of questions, bro?
Alright, bro. Let you off the hook.
Well, yes. The captain look.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys keep this stuff with like the tactical dumbasser that's like, you know what?
Yeah.
I just want, like, I assume you realize how transparent it is when people do that. Pretend not to know what somebody's talking about. You know,
I don't know what
it's transparent to fucking everybody. In fact, it's like, the weird thing is that I think people have like internalized their own cringe when they're on the same team with people who do that shit all the time. It's like wild. Like, I don't know. I feel like it explains.
What you're talking about now?
What do you mean by talking about?
What's transparent, Sully?
Gotta like listen more, you know, paying more attention is good as well.
I'm listening now.
Oh, fantastic, Jimmy.
What's transparent?
I said it. Why are you asking me these fucking questions? Just pay attention next time, and then you won't.
Somebody else explain what he's talking about, please, then. nobody else can.
Okay. That's a solid inference.
Yes, sir.
Like, it's kind of wacky because, like, people are so fucking, like, defensive and, like, egotistical. Like, it's the same people who like to point and laugh at Albedo in their little safe space, who, like, won't go anywhere, you know, except just hide in this fucking room and will, like, cower from having their positions criticized and will pretend not to know anything in order to have no burden of proof for, like, any claim to make. And then there's, like, they point and laugh at everybody and, like, act superior. It's kind of fucking wild.
Jeez, talk about cringe. Really?
Yeah, indeed, talking about cringe. It's like, this is the kind of shit that's just, like, so transparent. And it's like, you see it, and then you have to internalize the cringe
Who
that
are
shit
you talking
does
about?
to you. You.
Well, what about we? I have to internalize what?
It sounds like you're not listening. It's like a serious
I'm listening. I don't understand. Who are you talking about? My ego?
Just answered that.
You're talking about my ego.
I just said that. Are you listening to me?
It's not clear. Since you can't say yes, I'll take that implication. Go on.
It's just like, you're not going to defend it. You're not going to defend everything. And you want to, like, mock another guy. Like, you're going to give me a meme mark, right?
Well,
Like, you're going to give me some fucking meme if I ask you what you believe or why, right? And then you have people who are, like, genuine, like Albedo, who you fucking dipshits, like, point and laugh at and mock. It's ridiculous.
well,
Like, you have no shame. It's crazy.
if he's slapping himself in the face with a fish, yeah. People are gonna laugh at that.
Oh my god.
You don't even believe. You think Albedo's position silly, right?
Oh, that makes it. Yeah, did you hear what I just said, though?
Yeah, you
Did
think
you hear what I just said? Of course I think it's silly.
Okay.
I also think what you guys did was just, like, ridiculous.
I mean, we were just inquiring.
There's no reason to fucking sit here and point and laugh at a group. Like, basically circle around Albedo and point and laugh at him for 40 minutes and then upload it to YouTube. And you're just like, what do you mean for me to Albedo?
Well, I mean, I think we were harsh on Albedo. But
You weren't even there.
his view is pretty silly. And so, silly views sometimes deserve a little bit of humiliation.
Yeah, I agree, but why isn't that, like, a person who is, like, willing to talk about their silly views and, know you guys for this long,
Yeah.
who also, like I said before, he's like Switzerland whenever there's, like, beefing going on. He's, like, always very, like, neutral towards, like, the Tom Rabbit people or whatever you want to call yourselves. So, it's like,
Nobody calls themselves Tom Rabbit people. You do.
I don't know if you heard what I fucking said, okay? I said, or whatever you call yourselves.
I know.
Do you understand fucking words?
I
All
do,
of you?
but I'm clarifying, nobody calls themselves rabbit people.
That's like a non sequitur. Complete non sequitur. Anyway,
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you understand. I said the Tom Rabbit people or whatever you wanted to call yourselves.
I
Meaning there's a
understand
difference
that.
between those two things. Yeah,
I
okay,
know.
thanks, Jacob. How about you mute?
I'm
No, you're not going to mute, but you're going to keep interrupting me? Yeah? No?
elaborating
What are we doing here? Okay.
that you can throw out the ones that call themselves Tom Rabbit people.
I didn't say anybody called themselves that.
Oh my god.
You understand?
Yeah, but the way that you
No, the way I said it doesn't imply that anybody calls themselves that. You're just a moron.
actually.
It doesn't at all, actually. It doesn't at all.
Yeah,
or whatever.
If I say are equal or whatever you call yourselves, means there's a difference between what you call yourselves and what I said in the first show. You fucking idiot.
Right. It accounts for whatever you call yourselves, including Tom-ratted people.
Okay, just stop talking before you
I
hurt
hope
yourself.
that's clear to everybody.
Okay, sit down, JJ.
I'm here.
Sit down, mute up.
I'm listening.
I'm going to talk to Jason. Okay, you can talk. You can.
No, I'm listening.
Okay, listen with your mic muted.
I've already said, like, yeah, like, you're right on a lot of these accounts. Albedo is like Switzerland. Albedo is a nice person. Albedo is very sincere. But on the same hand, this view seems pretty crazy. And, like, I don't understand, like, maybe we were a little harsh on him, but it is a pretty crazy view. And, like, I'm not sure why there's so
One
much
part of it is
pushback.
crazy. It's like, if somebody, again, like, okay, somebody's like, is it crazy? Or is it part of it crazy? Is it crazy that somebody is like, seeking God, and they think, like, they're like approaching a belief in God and looking for it? Is that crazy by itself? No. Okay. So he's in that state. Okay. And he's praying to God, and he's like praying for signs because he wants to believe and seeking it and whatever. And then this thing that, at least by his life, for all he was aware of at the time, right? Now maybe there is some weird thing going on in the background, right? But for what he was aware of at the time, this like crazy, improbable thing happens to him, and he somehow like making associations between that and he's seeing sort of like some weird religious coincidences in it. Okay. And it's like, okay, yeah, if all that's the case for this guy, and that pushes it towards theism, that makes sense for that guy, right? So in that sense, it's not that crazy, right?
So it makes sense. Wait a minute. I do think it's crazy. You're just saying it's not crazy for the person who has crazy views.
We went through and said what the views were, and you didn't say any of them were crazy, right? You agreed that, like, it's not crazy to be, like, seeking, I'm in the middle of talking. It's not crazy to be seeking God or whatever. You said that. And then I assume you don't think it's crazy that, he thought the odds were what they were at the time. Right? I mean, we looked into this, and, like, as far as the publicly available data goes, you're saying nothing that I used to make the inference was crazy, and then you said, oh, so yeah, somebody could believe something if they had other crazy views. Like, what are the crazy views that
Yeah, so if a person has a view that the probability of them winning something somehow it provides them ample evidence that they now believe in God. And somebody that I know is not.
It's not the whole basis of his entire.
Okay, you know what?
It's not all of his evidence.
Okay, how about, like, I'll let you talk and then you let me talk. All right, I'll shut up. Go ahead.
No, go on. But like you said it as if like he was a complete agnostic, and then this happened, and then he came to believe in God. Right? That's.
Okay, well, in the room that when we just talked to him, JJ even asked him that was there like this other evidence that plus this led to you believing in God, and he said no, it was the Yeezys. Like, he may have been agnostic, but it's this experience with the Yeezys that made him believe. So it's not like this is like, it's like this plus like 20 other things. It's this thing. You gotta ask about that.
I think that it's this thing that tipped him over the edge. Right.
Well, I'm just responding to what Albedo said. JJ's here. They actually asked him that question.
Okay, I don't. Jesus Christ. It's really that complicated. You think he was at like 50-50 on whether God existed, and then this happened, and then he just went to full theism immediately?
Yeah, okay, so do you think it's more reasonable that that when he says, I won the shoes 7 times in a row, the shoes that like I get in a raffle that I have to pay up front, and I gotta pay for the shoes, and
No, you didn't pay up front. See, I don't know if you were listening. He said you sign up to pay, basically, right?
I just read an article.
Going to pay.
You actually prepay.
What happens if you lose the shoes? Do you get your money back?
Yeah, after 14 days you get the money back. Yeah.
And is it the whole payment?
I'm imagining you probably get all the money back.
No, I'm saying you pay the full price, like
Yeah, you pay the full price. Yeah, you pay. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I'm just saying that, like, all this discussion of what are the odds of this, and what kind of shoes are they, and, like, it's 1 out of 1,500 to win this, etc., all just seem to be, like, you guys are trying to make an argument that it's so unlikely, therefore,
You just looked it up. That's all we did.
Okay, yeah, you looked it up. So, on one side is the accuracy of that, and on the other side is God. And so I'm saying you could just be fucking wrong. The information you're looking at is wrong. It could be that Adidas didn't fucking do any of that bullshit, and that they were actually, it's like 90% chance. That's more likely than what we are saying, that it was like 1 in a billion chance, therefore this is like some incredible credence towards God. I think it's more likely these other things. It's not some fucking like Powerball where everything is like regulated. It's some company that's trying to fucking sell their shit that they've already explained is like their one of their strategies.
Jason, calm the fuck down, man. Just calm the fuck down. He could just as easily have been a really improbable thing. He could have do that, and you know what? I would say that it would be a stupid argument for God. It would be a stupid argument for God.
So you agree?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, obviously, I said that like 10 times.
We agree then.
Yeah,
we agree.
But yeah, what we disagree about is the way you treated Albedo. What do you think I've been saying this?
Okay, fine. Alright, fine.
Well, keep in mind. Fucking wild. It doesn't attack.
No, fuck off, Sully. Don't be like fucking wild. Like now you're just.
Yeah, it's fucking wild. It's like you're trying to have the debate.
I'm not trying to debate with you. Look, you agree with me that it's a fucking stupid ass way of looking at this. What you just take umbrage with is that people said, wow, this is a fucking stupid ass way of looking at it to Albino himself.
I think you treated Albino like shit. I think you treated Albino like shit. So obviously, I think you could talk to him about this. You know,
I don't think we treated him like anything. I don't think Jason treated him like anything. Jason, did you talk to him?
Yeah, I did, but like I don't think I.
You guys like never take any fucking responsibility for anything you do.
You guys, yeah,
you guys, you two, and basically everybody else that orchestrates those kinds of shit shows, and then posts people on YouTube who are nice to you. These people are nice to you.
Who organized what? Sorry, Jason.
No, that's fine. I'm sorry.
That's what you're talking about. Albedo came in. Want to talk about some arguments? They said 3 arguments. Want to start with the least controversial one.
In the fucking video, he is voicing his discomfort with being mocked and ridiculed and laughed at, and even says, "Oh, you're like pandering to an audience right now, right? Like you're playing it up for the audience when he's talking, right? He's going in there trying to have a normal fucking conversation with you guys. It's crazy. Like you guys are just really assholes.
Which we did. Well, I mean, I wasn't an asshole to him. I laughed.
Oh my god. Yeah, you take no responsibility for anything. Okay, I get it. You can be a child. I'm treating you like a child. You're an innocent little child.
What am I not taking responsibility for? Sounds to me like I am taking responsibility for laughing at him. I told you why, and I told him that I felt bad I felt like I shouldn't be. I feel bad about it. I don't know.
You should feel bad. You should feel bad.
I know. That's why I told him.
You doesn't seem, you don't have the affectation of a person who feels bad. You seem like you don't actually feel bad either.
I don't think you understand what personality is.
Right. Like the kind of thing a guy that couldn't think of anything what he to say would say.
Once you felt
What? What did that mean? What did you ask me 2 seconds ago? I'm not listening to anything happening in the document.
It's horrible. Why are you saying that? Go ahead.
Once you felt bad, by the way, welcome Monkey Jovan. Good to see you, sir. But when you started to feel bad, JJ, did you and all of the miscreant bullies, did you guys rally to get Tom to not post the video or to take it down?
I didn't have any control. I didn't know. They all love it. They were in favor of it and listened to it in the room after it was posted. They're all cheering, and then they're like, you know, when you push back on it, Adam, I'm not associated with this. This has nothing to do with. I'm not in the video or anything. No one knew Tom was making a video until 10 minutes before he posted it. Oh my goodness.
What is he talking about?
I do agree, it's a dumb view. I don't know why you're fucking pushing back. Okay, you do, because I already explained that nothing I'm saying has anything to do with whether I think it's a dumb view. Right. In fact, I already sort of told you that's not even close to what we've been talking about here. I've been saying that you guys mistreated Almeida. Right? I understand that. I already told you I think it's a dumb. But wait a second, let's just get clear. Like, how
I'm laughing and
yeah, how do we mistreat it? Just go ahead with it. I'm sorry, you guys like have fucking ears? You have ears? I've explained it 6 times. Can you answer the question?
I think it.
Do you think if I do it one more time and then you ask me again that I'm obligated to answer you? Hey, will I be obligated to fucking answer you if you ask me again after I explain it again?
Depends on if you are fucking here this time.
I already answered it. You understand? That's why I'm not doing it again.
Clear, Sully.
The idea is Albedo is generally very deferent to all you guys. He shows deference to all you guys. And he came in very non-hostile, non-combative. He's not in it for Bloodsport. He was just in there to try to talk to you guys, be reasonable, or, you know, have a conversation, hang out. And it turned into kind of like a schoolyard bullying of all of you guys, mocking and laughing at him. I think that's what Sully's saying. I kind of got that vibe too. You know, I mean, he didn't fight you guys. It's like he's not even punching you. He's not calling you names. He's not doing anything. You guys are just like literally like, you're an idiot. You're an effing idiot, Albedo. That's the kind of vibe.
Yeah, everybody told him that.
Okay. All right. And Tom is, you gotta keep in mind, Tom is extremely cynical. Like, he's extremely denigrating. And I think you guys kind of.
Are you just talking about Tom?
No, I'm saying you guys are we're part of the vibe. I think that's what Sully's saying.
Part of the vibe.
Yeah, the vibe of bullying.
Listen, I heard. You're just talking about Tom at this point, and I was there.
No, I'm not.
You are. No, you are.
Listen to what I just.
You are just talking about Tom.
Tom is a consistent. Listen to what I'm telling you.
And I told him.
Tom is a consistent.
And I think others told him.
Wait,
he was a little harsh.
Tom is consistently cynical, and he's over the top on a lot of this stuff.
Well,
I kind of fed off the vibe at this time, is what I'm saying. And I'm saying, I think Albedo's just not the person. Like, he doesn't seem like he's the person, at least not this occurrence, certainly. That it should have been like, hey, you know, like he's just laying down, feeling kind of humiliated or whatever, and you guys are just like kicking it and laughing at it. That's kind of how it felt. But whatever. I mean, I'm not, you know, whatever. I don't know where to go from there. I just told you guys that's what I think Sully's saying, and I think I see that too. I think Albedo is like generally cool to everybody over there, so I don't know. Anyway.
Well, I wasn't mean to him. I didn't call him a fucking idiot. I told him I felt bad laughing. Told you why I was laughing. To me, mean implies you know, malicious intent, which of course I didn't have. I'm not gonna speak for you guys or anybody else but myself. That's taking accountability, Sully.
I mean, multiple times I was like, I was trying to appeal to Albedo's sensibilities because I was like, Albedo, come on, let's look at this reasonably. Like, do you think it's reasonable to have a view that, like, the fact that this is so improbable means that, like, it's supernatural? And he was like,
Jason, provide me with the evidence. What's the evidence that you have that, like, you know, Adidas modified the raffle? I'm just like, look, even if I don't have evidence, it just seems like that would be more plausible than what you're suggesting. And so I think it was trying to appeal to that. And was I laughing? Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have laughed. So I agree with that. I probably could have not been like so harsh with that. And I agree, Albino is a nice guy. And I DM'd him afterwards and was like, I'm sorry we were so harsh. You know, I understand he felt.
Then you guys like literally are like excited that Tom posted it. And you're like, well, I just want to say, okay, yeah, we're gonna blast out this like session that you guys apparently agreed. Sorry, that you guys apparently agree that you feel bad about.
Yeah, you guys.
You know how I don't know. You are just so mad at me tracking. Do you know how you get rooted? Do you know how you get rooted? I just fucking said this.
By proximity.
You're happy about the video being posted.
When did I say that?
You want it to be. Oh my god, you're so fucking stupid. That is funny. Okay. Do you have any objection to the video being posted?
Yep.
Oh, you did.
Should I go twist Tom's arm?
You're not going to be able to do anything, right?
Oh.
Because you have no influence or pull.
There you go.
You can at least say what you think, which is that he shouldn't have posted the video.
I wouldn't have posted it.
He shouldn't have posted it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think we agree. You guys feel bad as you should, and the video shouldn't have been posted. So I think we agree.
I didn't say that. I didn't say you shouldn't post the video.
Okay. I think the latter half of my critique still applies to you then.
But feel free to apply one person's behavior to you guys all you want.
Okay. Why don't you try not to be a part of shit like that?
Try not to what?
Try not to be a part of it next time.
Well, whatever. Be a part of listening to his argument and laughing at it. I don't think I can be held accountable for laughing. It was.
I felt bad. Did we not feel bad anymore?
I do. No, I felt bad.
Gotcha.
But it's not going to stop me from talking about it.
Why don't you try not to do things in the future that you'll feel bad for?
Some things you can't control. Finding something so ridiculous that it makes you laugh is one of those things, I think. I don't know if you listened to that. I was kind of wished you were there at the time. I think somebody might have pinged you even. After learning that he didn't just win them for free, he just won the opportunity to pay for them. I loved it. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, but whatever. It's like if the odds of that are extremely low, it doesn't really matter, right? Because the point is that like people are showing they're willing to pay for them, you know, but not everybody's gonna get it there.
Yeah, I mean the number I heard was if it occurred when it's most likely to have occurred.
Like, look, I gotta switch to
his chance of winning was 70%.
No, it's still. No, I know. No, again, that was a different time. After Jay was in the other room when we were talking about it without.
Well, last night or whatever, he said he didn't know for sure, and then he threw out a number, which is very close to when that is. So the odds are much worse if it was before. Granted, I think it's more likely that he won when the odds were 70%.
Well, when it happened is probably something we could like confirm. I'm sure he has like some kind of.
I think he said he had the receipt, and I'm curious.
Or like an email or something. Yeah.
Yep. He's got some kind of receipt. He said he did. Or that he could find it, but I I haven't heard since. Which is why I wondered when you were doing your calculations if you had that information, but I didn't hear that.
He said, well, they were going off the time that he told, there was multiple people again who were like looking for stats, and they were going off the time period that he had just said. It was like in, I think, 2022 or something. Right? Like, so they were looking, okay, at this time, what were the odds in these consoles?
I think he said something about you could find the replay when he was talking about it the first time.
Maybe. I mean, these are all interesting questions, and you guys could have had a nice sort of back and forth with Albedo. And obviously you can think he's silly. I think he's silly. And a lot of times, I think he's silly. But it's like, I can have the conversations with Albedo where I give him pushback. And I even, say that things he's saying are silly or ridiculous, and I say that to his face. Okay? But I don't get in a little circle with a group of people and start pointing and laughing like, haha, hee hee, And he's calling it in the conversation that Tom is doing it performatively for an audience. It's not as if you guys couldn't have been clued in to what Tom was doing. I don't think you're that fucking naive.
No one knew he was making a video. No one did. Like I said,
okay, there's always the possibility of a video now. What are you talking about?
I'm just reassured.
I can honestly tell you that it didn't cross my mind when I was listening to it, or 10 minutes. I was surprised when he told me 10 minutes before it went live.
Okay,
you guys push back.
Look, if people are giving him pushback on it, I think that's deserved. Okay, but Jason, Mr. Jason Jordan over here is no, I think you should have voted for him. Fuck Albedo.
Well, it's not ridiculous for somebody who doesn't like Albedo, apparently.
Why doesn't he like Albedo? What is something Albedo?
I don't know. I don't even know if he said that. I'm just saying that it wouldn't be weird for somebody who didn't like him. But I love Albedo, and I'm just reassured that you don't sit around in a circle and point laugh at people.
Yeah, I mean, it's the least I can do.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. For some reason, my shit was not working. I don't know if you heard what I was saying, but I was saying, look, when that was going on, I had no doubt that was going to get recorded, and I was thinking, this is probably going to get put online. And I don't, Albedo has to know. He's going to talk about this shit. It's a really quacky deal. It's probably going to get recorded, put online. So,
but the nature of the conversation that gets recorded doesn't have to be that kind of fucking conversation.
It wasn't out of context. They recorded the
Do you mean out of context? I'm saying if you guys had a normal, fairly polite conversation with him about it, right? It probably wouldn't even have any interest in posting it online if people weren't or something like that. I doubt Tom was posted it. It was just a normal conversation without So obviously the way that the interaction went is what explains it's being posted to you. I don't know. It's you guys again just don't want to take fucking any accountability.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I think the accountability is that the view is pretty crazy, and even you acknowledge it's a crazy.
You are a broken fucking record. It's just a non sequitur. Look, it's a non sequitur. I agree that it was crazy. You still treated it like shit. Are you fucking stupid?
Okay, so I think we were harsh, but when you say treated him like shit, I'm not sure.
Yeah, you did. Treated him like shit. Exactly.
Okay, well then we can fucking disagree with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
You said, okay,
it's crazy.
Again, and you said you felt bad about it.
What did we do?
You felt your bullshit. I feel bad about how Albedo was treated, but he wasn't treated like shit.
No, I feel bad. No, I didn't say that. I said I felt bad about laughing. And then I felt bad if it made him feel bad, but the intent was not malicious.
Yes, when you make people feel bad, you were treating them like shit.
Oh, well, you heard it here
People
first.
shit, making them feel bad.
I'll give you an example, like at the very end of the conversation, which was probably overboard.
Some people deserve to be treated like shit, JJ. Alito isn't one of them, just to be clear.
I don't agree that he was treated like shit by me.
Okay, then, oh my god, you fucking people are so stupid. Why did you feel bad then?
We're laughing.
You said you felt bad because you made him feel bad, right?
Huh?
Okay, when you make somebody feel bad, JJ, right?
Could you
You
stop
were treating them like
Could
shit.
you stop treating me like shit, please?
Okay, again, the tracking, it needs to improve. Some people deserve
Please
it.
stop treating me.
Alito's not one of them.
Please stop treating me like shit.
Yeah, you don't know how to listen, man. Unbelievable. Literal 3-year-old.
Literal.
Literally. Did you hear me?
Yep.
So we treated him like shit. What's the example of treating him like shit?
Oh my god, Jason. When this room is, go back and listen to the replay where I explained this to you multiple times.
Okay, fine.
Laughing at somebody is treating them like shit.
You guys just do this loop where you say the same non sequitur and then repeat the same question. It's getting a little bit fucking stale and boring now, so I think we can move on.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah. I did answer it already, right? So this is the second time I'm saying this now. I'm not answering it again because I already answered it.
I'm a
Jason.
dumbass.
And this is the second time I'm saying this now.
I'm a dumbass.
Okay?
I don't remember.
I know, and so why they take your management retreat to be complete dumbasses who can't track conversation, right? And you internalize your own cringe, buddy. You really did.
Oh, okay.
No, you're just trying to know. You're not. You've heard me explain this 6 fucking times. Andrew explained it to you, and then you keep asking the same question.
Makes you look bad. I'm saying what you said. You just can't tell me one fucking thing.
So what are you going to do? I answered that question multiple times, Jason.
I don't remember.
Great, then you're a fucking idiot who needs to get a better memory.
So you can't tell me again?
Oh my god. You need to learn how to listen to what people are saying to you. I'm not going to tell you again. You can wait until this room ends if you're so fucking curious, and you can listen to me explain it to you multiple times before then.
Don't tell me then.
I already told you.
Yeah, okay, fine.
And so this is just like weaponized idiocy. Like they
I
kind
know.
of
I am aware.
just like Jason Torn, like he goes into his university to do like weather bullshit. And so he turns out his friend. Like in these conversations, like, oh, where am I? What did I do? What did you say? Where is anybody?
Thanks. Great response. That was really good.
What am I responding to? You're just saying you're like a retard who can't remember what happened 5 minutes ago.
Okay, well, maybe I am. I'm just asking someone.
Yeah, maybe you are.
Yes. Yeah, maybe I am. But someone can't tell me what
You're gonna forget in 5 minutes.
I'm not talking.
You're gonna forget in 5 minutes.
He refuses to repeat himself for the 6th time, so he's refusing to repeat himself for the 6th time. He's just refusing. What a dishonest asshole. He's refusing to repeat.
Jason, now say we're debate growing and we're triggered. Go ahead. Jason, say the line, please. Jason, hello? Debate growing? Hello? Alright.
Anyway, slapping you all around has been fun, but Andrew, if you want to move on, probably.
And this like weaponized idiocy tactic is just like what really gets rewarded in their community. But just like you say obviously false things, and you get rewarded for clapping along. like Haiti cheated on her husband with Venus and Daniel Nero. I just wanted to say that. Should probably watch the video to know watch more of it than what I heard Andrew play.
To nursing homes. Then, as you admitted this week, you personally altered the state health department report to undercount the death total, to hide the death total, and then evaded and lied to these families for 5 years. So, tonight, will you finally apologize to Peter and other grieving New Yorkers, or will you just keep gaslighting them with blather about what a great child you claim you did?
Maybe when you come from the St. Louis facts don't matter, but here they do. So let's talk about that. First of all, on nursing homes, 1.2 million people died of COVID in the United States. It's horrendous. 83,000 people died in New York.
It's acetaminophen and pomegranate, just like with a diuretic, because it's a water thing, you gotta stay hydrated because it makes you go to the bathroom a lot.
Hey, what up, Coco? You stop selling out to the man?
Oh Lord. Coco, he wants you to fix his taxes. Just go in and delete it.
And works, and does not give enough credit to the women and men in those nursing homes who work so hard. Mr. Avini lost the farm. I am very, very sorry for that. He brought a legal case against the state. The legal case, papers. There was no COVID positive person sent from a hospital to the nursing home while Mr. Armini was in a nursing home. So it is factually impossible, Brad, that he got COVID from someone coming from us. Mr. Mondani, I want to address something first, which is, you're going to ask a question or not? I didn't ask a question. You're going to answer the phone lines to hear this, to hear all this about fake news. We have to just make this clear. Now, all of us on the stage. Wait, well, you're going to answer your questions. I'm asking you to answer your call. Okay. I feel like most people wouldn't know. I knew. I knew. We did. We both knew. We knew. On the stage have spoken about how Donald Trump is an existential threat to democracy, to this city, to this country. And Andrew Cuomo, you have received millions of dollars in funding from the very billionaires who put Donald Trump back into office. Will you now look at the camera and tell your super PAC to return those millions of dollars and to your own campaign to return them close to $500,000 to ensure that this is not a racist?
Man, it's gonna be interesting to see how this one plays out, bro. Oh my. Damn. I'm getting too many notifications. Calm the fuck down. I turn my notifications off. This shit crazy. Alright. Let me bring everybody up, my bad. Bring everybody up.
I always just this feeling that little girls.
The trending topic on Twitter right now is pray for Israel when they're the aggressor right now. Like that shit is crazy.
Wait, not Mr. I support Donald Trump and the Republicans bemoaning this fact.
My new song. What the two got to do together? They have to do with each other.
Hey, Friday,
of course you know.
Friday, remember when Iran said, I think it was like bring the normal here, and then Israel got that dome, blew all that shit out the sky, like
yeah.
I don't think there's gonna be a balance around.
Yeah, I mean, you're speaking that as if the Democratic Party ain't.
Do any of these news outlets outside of the U.S.? Because I just tried to look it up outside. I'm only seeing U.S.
Yes. Outside of the U.S. This is breaking. Iranian officials tells the New York Times that Iranian fighter jets are now airborne.
Anybody in the Middle East, they told the New York Times.
Yeah, that's still what about Al Jazeera?
Iranian officials.
No, she said a news publication. Somebody look up Al.
Spectator Index is from overseas. That's
what about
it's not American.
Somebody look up Al Jazeera, because I'm driving.
That's what she said. Hey, where did they get their fighter jets from? Did we give them that shit?
I think we sell about 40% of total weaponry. So I think because I looked at this during COVID, but that number may be off. Don't quote me on it. I can't confirm it, but I think it's something like that. Yeah, 40% U.S. companies. Because the Israelis are also very, skilled at weaponry, but I think it's something like U.S. companies.
Hey man, I'm on Israel's side. Shout out to my Israelis.
Yo,
Let's get that ass, Iran. Let's get that ass.
Wait, hold on, real quick. Let me do a poll. Put a gun emoji in the chat if y'all on Israel's side. Put a brain emoji in the chat if y'all on Iran's side. Yo, what's going on? Niggas side. Yeah, wait, hold on. Y'all can't name two presidents of prime ministers of Iran. Y'all gotta beat it in the chat.
Why do we have to name them?
I'll answer your question. So the reason why I'm mostly on
let Summer go. Summer said.
Oh, I'm sorry, Summer. Go ahead. I did too, but go ahead, Summer.
I'm on the side that America doesn't have to go to war for. For people to say that Iran did this without the consent and the help of America is so laughable to me. This is done with American consent. This is done with American intelligence. This is done with American weaponry. And for me personally, no, I'm not going to war. How many times did America have to go to war for Israel? You do realize we went to war to Iraq for Israel too, right? Okay.
No, we went.
Oh, because they have weapons of mass destruction. And we told us that.
Hold on. Listen, my name is cool. Don't be mad at who, be mad at the facts, all right? We went to war. Yeah, that's my new catchphrase, man. Don't be mad.
Why did we go to war?
Facts, Queen, all right? First of all, we got bombed, 9/11, right? And we thought, right, mistakenly, that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. So that's what we that. It was a lot of intelligence stuff. The CIA, the Israelis, the ID. Wait, hold on. It wasn't just Israel, though. It was a bunch of intelligence groups that we worked well with. So Israel warned us about a bunch of terrorist attacks that was actually true. And then, sometimes they fuck up, right? But these are our allies, all right?
Did you read Colin Powell's book?
Yes.
Before he died? Yeah. The one he wrote before he died talking about 9/11.
What's the name of it?
It's intelligence.
What's the name?
I'm just asking you, did you read it?
Wait, you don't know the name?
Yes, if you read it, the name of the book, do you think?
Okay, what's the reference? What about
No, but look, we knew they didn't have weapons of mass destruction.
Summer, what about the book?
Oh, Dean, you're gonna start whining again to talk? Jesus.
She's a mid-sentence, bro. She said some other book. Bro, she don't even know the book, bro. She's Googling a book she haven't read. She's asking about a book that she don't even know what the book is. You know what I mean?
Well, those people are right. We knew there were no...
We went to war because 9/11 or that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction, then we have no conversation here.
We knew they didn't have any weapons of mass destruction. The United States knows all of the countries that have weapons of mass destruction, literally, right? You can't just go to Kroger and buy a nuclear warhead. It's either going to be scientists, engineers that create it from a very, very, very small group of people. They know every single person that even can create such a thing. We're the ones that sell most of those things. They don't ever let the United States intelligentsia, as well as Israel and the Mossad, tell you they don't know a goddamn thing. Just like they claim not to know that those people were coming through the tunnels to attack that festival. But I'm going to go back on mute.
Wait, hold on. Let me correct the misinformation, all right? So, it wasn't just Israel, because I know we want to do this big bad Israel, y'all think they got mind control over Americans, and we got mind control over them. We run them, they don't run us. So, President George W. Bush, right, he claimed in multiple speeches that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction and pose a threat, right? So, if you know about the 2003 State of the Union, right, he referenced, let me read the quote. Wait, so he referenced that, I gotta find it now. He basically referenced that, about Iraq having, anyways, but he talked about in the State of the Union 2003 that they had weapons of mass destruction. Vice President Dick Cheney also said that they have weapons of mass destruction. Colin Powell, you're right about Colin Powell. He delivered a UN speech in 2003, and he was talking about using satellite images to intercept conversations to argue Iraq was hiding weapons of mass destruction. But he said he later regretted that speech. So Colin Powell said it, and then he pivoted. Do you think Colin Powell got that information from?
No, he didn't get the information.
One second. Cheney, VP Dick Cheney, who was with Halliburton that made billions of dollars. Because I know some people that went over there and made hella bread. They made hella bread over there. Let me finish. You didn't have to pay U.S. income tax when you went over there. Halliburton was recruiting like crazy for Houston. I know a couple of people went over there and made a couple $100,000. So Dick Cheney was lying. He was fleecing the government for Halliburton. And we know why he shot. I sure did, because it's capitalism. Am I complaining? You think Republicans?
I'm doing this for everybody. I don't care if you're a man, woman, all that athletes. Alright? I just can't do this when it happens anymore. Because my food haven't came, I'm already irritated. Because these niggas put them all order. I had to resend the shit back.
Can you make a cue? Just a quick.
Yes. So if anybody want to talk, just wait. You ain't got to say all that other stuff. Just wait. All right, we can continue.
No, that's what I was saying. Oh, yes, sweetheart. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm angry.
On the history part, true. Yeah. So do you have your key? Okay. So what I was gonna say is Cheney is not a credible source because Dick Cheney was probably one of the most diabolical people that we've ever had in office. Like, people were terrified of that man. If you don't know his relationship with Halliburton, you need to look that up. They pretty much built the federal government for billions and billions of dollars. Remember, they had the contractors over there. They were recruiting civilians to go over there, and like, you didn't have to pay U.S. income tax if you were employed overseas. So Cheney is not a good source because Halliburton made so much money during that whole damn Iraqi war. We knew well they didn't have.
You get shot. Nah, see, first nigga asked to get fucked down.
No, I'm happy to talk about how I was a Republican and a conservative, right? Like, I would have rather at that time that it be the U.S. making these choices and decisions, pretty much just like now. We have always controlled the narrative, just like Lou said. We like to have the narrative out there like, oh, we're just a benevolent and kind country, and we're just helping out. Y'all know the U.S. has been on some dictatorship pretty much. We get to enjoy what it is that we enjoy. I've never backed down from that, right? I would rather it be us than them, basically, at the end of the day.
So I totally agree with that, but I just think it's weird. And somebody that was supposed to move. He paused and he had. Hold on, you understand what I'm saying? I definitely agree with what you're saying. It's just, I just think y'all politics be selective though, because if Trump were to have the same stance and do the same thing, he's a demon now. And that is an issue.
No one would ever say that. No one would ever say that.
But Lou, we're about to go to fucking war, aren't we?
Oh, no, we're not. Wait, if you look at it right now, right? Hold on, wait, let's break this down, right? So currently in the world, right, we got militarization going on in democratic cities, right, where we got federal troops coming into LA, coming into Houston, coming into Atlanta, coming into Chicago, coming into New York. These are all democratic cities, right? And it's federal troops. There's federal intervention going on in these cities, right? Now we got one of our biggest allies, that damn near the 51st state of the United States, right, in Israel, and they're going to war. Now, if y'all think America's not going to get involved, y'all got to be smoking ass, right? And this is so funny though, because Trump been talking about he's a peaceful president and there's no wars under him, and it's literally finna be one of the biggest wars in a while under this motherfucker, man. Trump, I thought we were getting, wait, hold on. The fact that Trump, we're supposed to be getting money under Trump, and we really finna go into a fucking war right now.
Man, we ain't getting shit. We're not gonna get into world war. This is
Catalyst. And we're gonna narrow the speaking engagement because it's gonna be a decent room. We're gonna run this like a real room. Let's do like 2 minutes so let's squad, right?
You know in that region, America has a lot of allies from like the rest of the Middle East. Ain't really fucking with Iran like that. So they're
I'm pro Israel because I'm pro America, alright?
But Turkey don't fuck with Iran.
I'm shooting motherfuckers that just ad-lib and don't bring nothing to the table, right? If you just ad-lib and just try to ad-lib to get points and don't bring nothing valid to the table, some information, I'm just shooting. It's not personal, alright? Thank you. Continue.
Can I go off to Catalyst? Because Catalyst...
Hey, listen, I've been on TikTok for the last week. Bro, they got some shit over there, bro, where niggas pay to get on stage. And they pay to remove niggas out the room, right? Why everybody getting money instead of IGP, man? We ain't get no motherfucking money over here, man. We some broke ass niggas.
So hold on, let me say what I was saying, because I just Friday, we just spoke 3 times. I know, I didn't somebody interrupted me, bro. I didn't get to finish. Because I just looking up on it. I just looked up to make sure when it comes to major military power in the Middle East, Iran does not have no allies, bro. Their allies are people like those smaller countries and shit that really don't have no air force or none of that shit. Turkey don't fuck with Iran. Saudi Arabia don't fuck with Iran. Qatar don't fuck with Iran. Dubai don't fuck with Iran, brother. Like they don't. Their allies is like Hezbollah and all the little ass people. Their biggest allies is Russia and China.
I'm doing a I'm about to create a shoot policy. Anybody you can shoot people for a certain amount. Yeah, I heard all the niggas getting money in the other rooms. When somebody keeps saying Plan B getting money, man. IGB's gonna get some money, man. Alright? So this is you gotta fit that. Trump was
a catalyst next.
It's all catalyst. It's all catalyst.
We gotta enforce the keyword. Like,
It's all catalyst. It's all catalyst. It's all catalyst. It's all catalyst.
The reason why the United States went to Iran, none of those lies that Trump or Colin Powell pushed, like he said, it was about money and control. Completely, it was about the U.S. messed up on their intelligence. That was just that had nothing to do with Iraq. So they needed to create a story that says these people attacked us. So they used Valerie Plame, an operative of the CIA, to go and investigate and find that there was yellow cake in Niger being exported to Iraq to create nukes. So when that fell out, Scooter Libby, who was Dick Cheney's right-hand person, took the blame, and when Bush left, he would not pardon him. They went to Iraq to primarily for it was about oil and strategic interests. Who are the biggest oil servicing company in the world at that time in the United States? Halliburton. Go look up Halliburton. Halliburton was instrumental in creating what's called a new business structure that completely changed everything. It was Halliburton. It was about money. Dick Cheney, money. Period. Everything else was just noise. Just all noise. And the guy said Iran's allies, Syria, Iraq, Russia, China, and then they have these militant political groups called Hezbollah. So, and the fact that Israel say they did a preemptive strike against Iraq, the United States, highly probable that it's getting involved. By the way, there are more than 2,000 up to 4,000 troops here in Los Angeles. There are more troops here than there are deployed in Syria and the Middle East right now.
This is normal shit, and the reason why this is normal shit is because the United States has been trying to stop the proliferation of nukes in Iran for over 10 years. I mean, Obama was doing it, but when Obama was doing it, he tried to appease Iran, and now we're doing a different strategy because Iran has been stoking up proxy conflicts, just like the United States. It's a chess game, and I don't think it's going to lead to World War III because they're trying to stop it before it happens. If Iran gets nukes, then it's going to be World War III. But stopping them from getting nukes before they get it, this is just typical shit. And really, this is just the same type of narrative that's been running for the past 10 years. He killed you. He assassinated on some James Bond shit. He assassinated one of the scientists. Like the but it was in conjunction. It was in conjunction. And Trump did assassinate one of their scientists. So this is something that's been happening for a long time. The United States has tried to play the good cop. Now they're playing the bad cop. And it's just part of the game.
Wait, before the new people go, hold on, they don't play this. It says, Israel military said that at the end of the operation, there will be no nuclear threat. Israel has targeted senior military and political officials in Iran. Israeli officials said that Iran nuclear program is an existential threat. The Associated Press reported that
Israeli official has confirmed attack targeting Iranian nuclear sites. And also, Israeli officials said that Iran has enough material to make 15 nuclear bombs within days. So I was gonna play a live clip if y'all want to. And I know y'all got this Muslim allegiance. Iran is they're not Sunni, they're Shiite. All right. So Sunnis be beefing.
So, bro, here's a couple things. This isn't really routine. Trump was in the Middle East last month, and if you notice something unique, he skipped over going there. He didn't meet with Netanyahu. Political analysts engaged as a question, and what was said was Trump feels Netanyahu is an impediment to peace. And this was also buttressed by the U.S. working with Hamas directly to have hostages released, where they actually cut out Netanyahu. Now, as the reports are going around, Trump full-throatedly saying the U.S. is not behind this. We didn't encourage Israel to bomb Iran. As sort of incredulous as I am towards Trump, I believe him. Trump is concerned about ushering quote-unquote peace for his own self-aggrandizement. He wants a Nobel Prize, they said. Said he wanted from Ukraine and Russia to the Hamas-Israel situation. I genuinely think he wants to foster some sort of quote-unquote peace. This is going to be great for his legacy. I don't think he's on board with Netanyahu. I believe this was a rogue move by Netanyahu. I think the Iranians are not stupid. Israel's not going to annihilate their sort of... I don't even trust their intelligence, so this notion that they're proliferating towards a nuclear, or they're trying to gain nuclear weapons. I mean, they've been saying this for 10 years, and they say, oh, they're 6 months away. They've been saying this for the last 8 years. So at what point do we, sort of doubt what the IDF and Israel intelligence are saying? So, again, this is not about right or wrong, it's about interest, right? And what we do in the media, we'll try to create a moral compass about right or wrong, and you're falling for that right now, right? No, this is about interest. Right? No, I agree, but what I'm saying, so why did Trump go to Israel? That's unprecedented when he was in the Middle East. What else did he do? He had significant arms deals and other deals with Saudi Arabia, the Qataris, and so forth.
What is he doing with Columbia?
Columbia?
Right, Columbia University. Are you not aware that a few days ago the Department of Education literally threatened to take away the accreditation of Columbia University? And do you want to know why? Because they refused. Yes. So what is Trump doing here? There's no reason to go visit Netanyahu when you're literally on the phone with him every day. You know the reason that he's also going against Harvard? Because of the anti-Semitism. So if
I could finish. Oh yeah, hold on,
well, you said 2 minutes.
Hold on, let me man, and then it's on, because I want to pass it to my brother. He's an expert in geopolitics. Okay. And then I'll pass it to Congressman John Kitover. I think he's a Republican. What's up, brother? How you doing? All right, then continue. Yeah, those things are superficial. There's no big meat on those bones. He's throwing crumbs to various constituents. When you're talking about geopolitical sort of maneuvers and the significance of that, Trump not going to Israel or meeting with Netanyahu when he did a Middle East tour, you're out of your mind if you don't think there's some significant political implications to that. Again, working directly with Hamas. Again, him literally saying, I'm in dialogue with Iran concerning some sort of nuclear weapons, nuclear deal. He wants an agreement, right? Netanyahu is operating rogue as he does, and he's trying to throw a splinter in that because he doesn't want an agreement with Iran. He wants a pretext to go to war with Iran and to throw the Middle East into further chaos. I land. All right. You want to respond? If not, we go back to the queue.
No, I'll just respond really quickly. To say that Netanyahu does anything rogue when this man literally orchestrated the biggest save in geopolitics, because a lot of us may not remember, they were going to put his ass in jail. Netanyahu was on trial, right, for doing some icky shit. And then, surprisingly, and of course my heart goes out to all of those people that were killed, we have Hamas on the end of decades back and forth, that was somehow, when Israel controlled every single thing about Gaza, they were able to get in all of these terrible, terrible things and do a lot of harm to this festival where there are also Americans. Golly gee willikers. And somehow Netanyahu avoided the criminal trial and everything was kind of put on hold. So for you to say that Netanyahu is rogue is like saying that Putin is rogue. Excuse me? That man is a tactical strategist. He always has been, which is why still, after all of these centuries, the United States gives money to Israel, despite there being up-and-coming new countries in the Middle East that we could absolutely substantiate to get our information. So if you think that that man with ties to Kushner and Trump is doing anything without the full 10,000% support of the United States military, funding, Congress, and president, you have another thing coming. U.S. presidents do not attack Ivy League institutions such as Columbia because they're quote-unquote being accused of being anti-Semitic, right? Maybe that happens in your country of origin, but it's never happened in the United States. I land.
So, I'll be quick. What I'm saying to you is Trump has allegiance to Israel. He has allegiance to a Jewish constituency in this country. But he understands the red line. Netanyahu is going rogue because he's been cut out of various dealings. He doesn't like that. He wants to throw a firecracker into things. This is quite clear. We're talking about Donald J. Trump. When has he ever been bashful, not taking credit about something? Why is he literally saying the U.S. didn't support this? Why would Donald Trump say that of all people? He doesn't play politics, right? This is a man that stands on his square. Why is he denying any sort of cooperation with this? Riddle me that. I actually believe in this guy. I like it.
You still think Trump is in charge making all of these decisions? The man who thought that origins was pronounced orange and didn't know what the word meant. Bless your little heart, Dean. Bless your heart.
All right, appreciate y'all. That was good. All right, D grade.
Can you hear me?
Yes, D grade. Israel.
Give me last man.
Yes, D grade, Congress, and then ambassadors.
I think what Dean actually said had some valid points, but I will say this: presidents can say that they have no involvement, but it doesn't abstain the administration or parts of the intelligence community, assets, programs, projects from supporting or even adhering. Anthony Blinken, counter to what some people might not have known, actually served in the Biden administration and also had some affiliation and ties to the state of Israel. The Biden administration said they have members of their cabinet that say the opposite in some cases. Deputy Secretary 147. Yet we know presidents lie, but to the point that Dean said, he has an interest that, regardless of what Netanyahu may be trying to do, he still supports Israel. But he has an interest on trying to be the president that brings about peace. I don't agree with it, but it's something that I think he's trying to do, cutting off Netanyahu and trying to negotiate directly with Hamas, or even in some cases putting a trusted ally in what ought to be the mediator of conflict when it's dealing with the Russians, dealing with Hamas, with Israel. I think he is trying. Now, he is right where Bibi Netanyahu is, to some cases, an animal that is cornered and is willing to do just about anything and everything. It doesn't necessarily mean that some parts of the administration did not know. I think that this is also a little bit odd. There was a leak that came out the last couple of days and even today morning that the IRGC and some of the Iranian intelligence said that they obtained documents saying that Israel was helping a European country, we don't know which one just yet, we don't know if this leak is true, obtain a nuclear. That same leak also today disclosed that the head of this IAEA
is in some cases affiliated with
downstairs just say hello to some people on the joint staff who used to work for me. One of the generals called me and he said, "Sir, you gotta come in here, come in and talk to me." I said, "We're too busy." He said, "No. He says, you made a decision you're going to war with Iraq." This was on or about the 20th of September. I said, "We're going to war with Iraq." He said, "I don't know." He said, "I guess they don't know what else to do." So I said, "Well, did they find some information connected?" He said, "On to Al Qaeda." He said, "He says there's nothing new that way. They just made the decision to go to war with Iraq." He said, "I guess it's like we don't know what to do about terrorists, but we got a good military and we can take down governments." And he said, "I guess if the only tool you have is a hammer, every problem has to look like a nail." So I came back to see him a few weeks later, and by that time we were bombing in Afghanistan. I said, "Are we still going to war with Iraq?" And he said, "Oh, it's worse than that." He said, "Torn has just picked up a piece of paper." He said, I just got this down from upstairs from the Secretary of Defense office today." And he said, "It's a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing on the old Iran.
To the infrastructure that some of those Gulf states and markets
The truth is, the Middle East has handed out no real
supply chains
all like Africa. Nobody is threatening to intervene in Africa. The people is the opposite problems, asking for people to intervene and stop it. And there's no question that the presence of patrol beyond the region has sparked great involvement, whether that was these specific.
Is it me or did he go out?
Oh, maybe he had to talk to maybe.
Problematic, and I do think that Trump is
Hold on, if you go back like 30 seconds, you cut out.
30 seconds? That nigga,
Like 10 seconds. Okay,
sorry. I do think what Dean said is right. Because even if you listen on some of the cables in regards to the situation with Russia and Ukraine, the Russian government is trying to give Trump a quote-unquote political win. Because they understand that's within its interest, even if it's the best of a bad deal. So to some degree, if one takes that pattern, I do trust what Dean said, which he's trying, and BB understands that, which is why, again, he's decided to go rogue. Because, again, if Iran doesn't retaliate extensively, the United States and those other monarchies within the region will go in support with whatever retaliation that Israel and the U.S. then does there. But we have to wait and see. I don't think BB did this with Trump knowing, but it doesn't mean parts of the administration, the intelligence community, did not know. Someone always knows and supports, and we just have to wait for the information to come out.
That was good. Shout out to you. All right, shout out to my boy D Great, man. That's my South African brother. All right, let's press it.
Wait, I have a quick conspiracy theory, Lou.
Wait, hold on, because I was going to get my conspiracy crazy. So, y'all remember recently, right? Because I think, I'm not saying that people know in America. I really think shit be happening for a reason. So, like, they've been trying to create a bill called Anti-Semitism Awareness Act, which is dope. I think Black Americans need to create. So it was passed May 1st, 2024, 320 to 91 vote. It proposed to amend Title 6 of the Civil Rights Act to include the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance working definition of anti-Semitism, and which is like, so they think definitions basically like traditional anti-Semitic hatred, Holocaust denial, Jewish conspiracy theories, some form of anti-Zionism or criticism of Israel. But they want to enforce it at schools, colleges, losing federal
Moving on to other news, the United States has ordered non-essential employees to leave its embassy in the Iraqi capital, Baghdad.
Y'all think they kind of knew this was happening, was going to happen all along? That's why they kind of put these parameters in place as far as the travel ban on majority Muslim countries. Not majority Muslim countries, but the country that they put the travel ban on was majority Muslim. So do y'all think this correlates or not? So y'all think like this, is this like they just, like they knew?
Yeah, it's strategic.
That's what I'm asking.
All right, hold on. Before you go, it's on Congress and then it's on Congress. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. I'm running in Illinois. I'm a congressman-elect. The point is,
Wait, you running in Illinois?
I'm running in Illinois against Darren LaHood in the 16th District, Rockford, Bloomington, Peoria.
Okay.
So the U.S. has ordered all non-essential personnel out of Baghdad from the largest embassy on the planet. As you said, these travel restrictions were put in place. And don't forget, in the U.S. now, we are deploying Marines to major U.S. cities where there could be sleeper cells. I think this is all in anticipation of Israel launching an all-out strike on their nuclear facilities. And there's going to be an escalation in violence. What do you think people do in the summer? They get violent. So it's coming, and I think that Trump is going to pull a Michael Corleone, and so is Benjamin Netanyahu, and they're going to cut the head of the snake, and the head of the snake is in Iran.
That was good. That was good fight. That was good. All right, pass it to OG and y'all keep this room. Don't play all these videos. This is crazy shit I'm seeing.
I think it's only a power divide intervention. You have to go back to the show of Iran and back to Jimmy Carter's disappointment during a time when there was a lot of participants was the Prime Minister Anwar Sadat was there. They rose up and killed Anwar Sadat. I think that was some alphabetical stuff when they assassinated him. It was followed by Hosni Mubarak, who didn't remotely have any idea of what was to be a real peace negotiation going on. So he faded from power. When the Israelis struck Iran, it has been co-signed by the United States, etc. But on that strength, we have to understand comprehensively that Iraq, at one time, Jimmy Carter tried to land some helicopters, and they got twisted up in the dust. Multiple helicopters crashed. That was a negotiation, and they couldn't get the prisoners of war. And I think, well, at that time in the world picture, the only one they trusted to negotiate was Jesse Jackson, where they had made an agreement to get the prisoners of war back and point them back to America. The so-called state of Israel has never acted honorably. For instance, when Jimmy Carter appointed Andrew Young as the ambassador to the United Nations, that was a press conference, and one of the questions, what would we do in case A and case B? And he said, we have to arrive at a decision, whatever decision we make will be in the interest of justice and fairness for both parties, or all parties that are involved. And we said justice and fairness, sides attacked him and just blew him out of office. Jimmy Carter didn't help him, we the black people didn't help him. No one could pump life back into Andrew Young as a negotiator or as an ambassador to the United Nations, especially managing the peace agreements with the Palestinians and the Israeli at that time. And I say to you that this is not peace, this is war, and that's just some fake news as you saw when Bill O'Reilly said what a no spin zone on the buck stops here, meaning that it really actually is a spin zone, and he's gonna pass the buck. And as Donald Trump, you know war means warning. You just have to use reverse psychology that he uses to figure out some of these things in the world picture. And I will let my play on the fact that justice is in the midst of it. And I do support my world president, the President Ibrahim Traore, and he's going across the world, bringing the right aura of social and political leadership but see, we the people that you already got the elitists, those people under the protection of the certain alphabet soup, meaning FBI, CIA type, caliber Mossad, British intelligence, those caliber people are making these things happen. That's where the wars pop off behind intelligence. I'll let my play, but those are some of the facts as I know them to be, and I still say my mind. Y'all no good tonight.
Let me reset the room. We're talking about Israel bombs Iran, Trump versus liberal cities. There's currently federal military intervention
National Guards being, I think 5,000 National Guards was just brought to Texas. I don't know about Chicago yet, but I know Las Vegas, and currently Los Angeles. And there's a huge protest. It's kind of funny though, because it's like coincidentally that this is going on in liberal cities. That's military intervention. So it's in LA, Chicago is liberal, Houston is liberal, Atlanta is liberal, a Democrat, and New York. So yeah, and then Israel just bombed Iran. I'll play a clip real quick and discuss the geopolitical chess.
Breaking. Good evening, everyone. We have breaking news out of Iran at this moment. We're interrupting your regular scheduled programming because ABC News has learned that Israel has launched an attack on Iran, likely targeting Iran's nuclear sites. Tensions have been mounting in the region for several days. President Trump told reporters today that it could happen at any time. We want to go now to Selena Wang, who has the latest from the White House. Selena, what can you tell us? Well, Lindsay, earlier today I had asked President Trump about how imminent this Israeli strike on Iran's nuclear facility could be, and the president had told me that this could very well happen, adding that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, telling me that the U.S. would help Iran be successful in any other way in trading with the country. Now, this comes as President Trump in his second term has repeatedly stressed that Iran cannot be developing a nuclear weapon and that it cannot have a nuclear weapon. This comes as his envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, is actually heading to Oman on Sunday. He's scheduled to have another round of nuclear talks between the U.S. and Iran. There have been several rounds so far, Lindsay, of nuclear talks, and the president has repeatedly said that he's confident that the U.S. and Iran are getting close to a deal. But just this week, the president said that he was becoming less confident. He also told me today that if there is a strike from Israel on Iran's nuclear facilities, he was concerned that this could derail their negotiations.
Oh, really?
As you explain, what could this escalation mean potentially for those peace talks? Well, again, the president, he had actually asked Netanyahu, he said last month, not to launch this sort of strike, worried that this could harm the ongoing U.S.-Iran negotiations. The president today saying that he believes this could, quote, blow up those negotiations. Now, this also comes, though, as the U.S. has already ordered some non-essential staff to leave Iraq, and also as the administration has also authorized family members of military members to leave if they want to voluntarily leave across the Middle East. The president saying that it could become a very dangerous place, and he wanted to make sure that Americans would be safe.
All right.
So may I comment on that? Because Dean was wrong as usual. First of all, he said he believed Trump when he said he wanted peace. What I heard that to say is Iran is not doing what Trump wants them to do, so he sicked Israel on them like, okay, I'm going to sick my boy over there on you to put the heat on you because you're not doing what the fuck I want to do. Okay? Did everybody else hear that? Or did everybody hear that?
He literally said his representatives is going to Oman this weekend to continue negotiations with Iran. That's what the Trump administration is doing.
Wait, Trump also said, Trump also, all right,
thank you. That's what Trump said. You're telling me in the middle of that, he's going to sanction Netanyahu to Iran? That doesn't make any sense. Trump full-throatedly said he doesn't want Israel to do this. He wants an agreement. And I said he wants peace in the region, quote-unquote, as according to him. According to Ukraine and Russia, same with
why do you listen to Trump with his words when it's suitable for your argument, but you never take his word as valid when it's not? I'm confused.
Well, here's the thing. As Reagan said, trust but verify. So Trump's saying things, then I see what the boots on the ground are doing. He's holding talks. When he went to the Middle East, he was talking to the various countries' monarchs. He was
breaking news. Mr. Netanyahu was speaking to his statement right now. Live. Damn, should have remembered this.
We're hearing a statement from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Let's listen to his statement from just moments ago.
Months ago, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a targeted military operation to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival. This operation will continue as many days as it takes to remove this threat. For decades, the tyrants of Tehran have brazenly, openly called for Israel's destruction. They backed up their genocidal rhetoric with a program to develop nuclear weapons. In recent years, Iran has produced enough highly enriched uranium for 9 atom bombs. 9. In recent months, Iran has taken steps that it has never taken before. Steps to weaponize this enriched uranium. And if not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months, less than a year. This is a clear and present danger to Israel's very survival. 80 years ago, the Jewish people were the victims of a Holocaust perpetrated by the Nazi regime. Today, the Jews...
Damn, look, he's still weaponizing stuff from 80 years ago, man, to justify what he's finna do now. See, man, we gotta learn from this.
The state refuses to be a victim of a nuclear holocaust perpetrated by the Iranian regime. Now, as Prime Minister, I've made it clear time and again, Israel will never allow those who call for our annihilation to develop the means to achieve that goal. Tonight, Israel backs those words with action. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear enrichment program. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear weaponization program. We targeted Iran's main enrichment facility in Natanz. We targeted Iran's leading nuclear scientists working on the Iranian bomb. We also struck at the heart of Iran's ballistic missile program. Last year, Iran fired 300 ballistic missiles at Israel. Each of these missiles carries a ton of explosives and threatens the lives of hundreds of people. Soon, those missiles could carry a nuclear payload, threatening the lives not of hundreds, but of millions. Iran is gearing up to produce 10,000s of those ballistic missiles within 3 years. Now just imagine 10,000 tons of TNT landing on a country the size of New Jersey. This is an intolerable threat. It too must be stopped. Iran is now working on what it calls the new plan to destroy Israel. You see, the old plan failed. Iran and its proxies tried to encircle Israel with a ring of fire and to attack us in the horrible attack of October 7th. But the people of Israel, the soldiers of Israel, rose like lions to defend our country. We crushed Hamas, we devastated Hezbollah, we hit Iranian proxies in Syria and Yemen. And when Iran directly attacked us twice last year, we struck back inside Iran itself. Yet in defending ourselves, we also defend others. We defend our Arab neighbors. They too have suffered from Iran's campaign of chaos and carnage. Our actions against Iran's proxy Hezbollah led to the establishment of a new government in Lebanon and the collapse of Assad's murderous regime in Syria. The peoples of those two countries now have a chance for a different future, a better future. So too do the brave people of Iran. And I have a message for them. Our fight is not with you. Our fight is with the brutal dictatorship that has oppressed you for 46 years. I believe that the day of your liberation is near. And when that happens, the great friendship between our two ancient peoples will flourish once again. I want to assure the civilized world, we will not let the world's most dangerous regime get the world's most dangerous weapons. And Iran plans to give those weapons, nuclear weapons, to its terrorist proxies that would make the nightmare of nuclear terrorism all too real. The increasing rate.
Okay, what is going on with the emojis? Oh my goodness, that is so cute. Whatever, that sounded like Donald Trump. 50 million dollars for real.
Hold on. I gotta get on the room, hold on.
Okay, this is the Brian Warriors real facts.
And that was Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu giving a statement on the airstrikes that Israel has just conducted on Iran. I want to bring in CBS News Chief Foreign Affairs Correspondent Margaret Brennan. Margaret, I know that you were talking to your sources and gathering information. What have you learned so far?
Yes, we've been trying to communicate with sources here in the U.S. and overseas. What we know is what the Prime Minister just announced, that these were Israeli jets targeting sites within Iran that he says were related to the nuclear program that Iran has claimed for so long is entirely peaceful. U.S. intelligence has been concerned about the level of highly enriched uranium that Iran had stockpiled, but had assessed that Iran had not yet decided to pursue a weapon and that it would take some time for them to do so. In his statement there, the Prime Minister said Israel's assertion is that Iran had stockpiled enough nuclear fuel for 9 weapons and that they could build one in less than a year. He did not explain why he felt tonight was the night it had to be done, that some of those targets were hit. I do want to point out that Secretary of State Marco Rubio has released a statement making clear the United States did not provide support in terms of offensive support to this military strike. It didn't participate in it, but Israeli officials are telling me that the U.S. Was aware.
Whoa, so somebody's lying.
Thank you. I was right. Exactly. Oh my God. Donald Trump lied.
Let's continue.
And these strikes. In the reporting of this throughout the day, it has been a back and forth as to when a potential strike could take place. What we know at this point is just what the Israeli Prime Minister has detailed. We don't know yet if this completely kills the diplomatic option that President Trump said he preferred and was sending his chief negotiator to talk to Iranian officials about this Sunday in Oman. We're waiting to hear from the administration if they think that diplomacy is in any way an option. Why would that still be necessary? Well, we don't know that Israel was able to actually take out the entire nuclear program. Iran has underground facilities that the U.S. is uniquely positioned to be able to destroy. And the U.S. has said that it would be hard for Israel to actually destroy the nuclear program without U.S. help. So this may be a damage to this program, but not destruction of it. We'll just have to wait to see what more becomes apparent in the next few hours and days in terms of assessments of the targets hit. The Prime Minister said it could last for a few days.
And President Trump is planning to hold a cabinet meeting tomorrow at the White House. I'm curious, what are you going to be watching for in that meeting?
Well, I think all of us will be chasing all details we can, just as we were when we heard yesterday there was a meeting internally in the White House to try to assess options and what the U.S. would do. One of the first indications we had that something might be happening imminently was the announcement the Pentagon made that they were advising the dependents of military personnel in the Middle East to consider leaving. And that was one of the first indications that the U.S. was concerned about blowback for the United States for its actual citizens living abroad. We have to watch what happens here, including what the fallout is in the region. Not just at strikes against the United States, perhaps in retaliation, but whether that could be avoided. And I know that diplomats in the region and the UN were concerned that carrying out a military strike against a nuclear facility could have damage, a fallout, and people need to learn more.
In that statement, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that this was all to report. What he said was a plan from Iran to destroy Israel, another plan. Can you go into that a little bit more, what he meant by that?
Well, Prime Minister Netanyahu, as he said in a recorded statement in English, he speaks fluent English. He went to university here. He lived here for many years. He knows that when he is speaking not just to his citizens, but to the world to explain this military action because it was preemptive. It did not have the support of other countries around the world. And in that statement, he argued that this was existential for Israel. His belief has long been that Iran poses a threat if they do actually get a nuclear program that could be weaponized, that it could destroy Israel.
pointed to that, of how he has sort of step by step gone through a lot of Iran's tentacles, that some of its proxy forces that it has used to carry out malicious behavior targeting Israelis or other Western targets, including America.
You know, they got an Iranian room with like 700 people in it right now. They speaking all Persian.
In the past. And he laid that out there, saying this was sort of the next step here in trying to directly at the Iranian regime, the leaders who made those decisions to